Why don't birds ever fly over Stillwater? The town of Stillwater was small, barely more than a few streets surrounded by endless fields. What made it famous, though, was its perfect stillness. No wind ever blew through the streets. No birds flew overhead. The trees stood as though frozen in place, their leaves never rustling. The residents were polite but strange, their voices barely above a whisper. Footsteps eerily silent. Jacob, an out-of-towner, arrived one afternoon, hoping to spend a quiet weekend away. The air felt heavier than usual as he drove into Stillwater. It was almost suffocating, yet the quiet had a certain charm, a peacefulness that drew him in. After settling into the town's only inn, he wandered the streets, hoping to find something to eat. The town was too quiet. He saw no cars, no children playing, not even the distant hum of conversation. It was as though the entire place held its breath. As evening approached, Jacob grew uneasy. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the streets. He noticed something odd. The shadows weren't behaving as they should. They stretched too far, curling unnaturally around corners and across rooftops, like dark fingers reaching out. He quickened his pace, but the feeling of being watched grew stronger. He heard whispers, faint, unintelligible, like voices carried on a non-existent wind. Jacob spun around, scanning the empty streets, but no one was there. The shadows, however, began to move. They slithered across the ground, converging around him. Panicking, he bolted for the inn. As he reached the front door, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. The air felt thick, as if the town itself was trying to suffocate him. He burst inside, gasping for breath, but the innkeeper stood motionless at the counter, watching him with empty eyes. "They don't like it when you run," the innkeeper whispered, his voice barely audible. "No one leaves after dark." Jacob turned to the window and saw it. The town was alive, its shadows moving like a living thing, crawling over the buildings, the streets, searching. The whispers were no longer faint, they filled the room, deafening, as if the town itself was speaking. He tried to scream, but the air was gone, replaced by the crushing weight of the shadows. Stillwater had claimed him, like all the others who came before. By morning, the town was peaceful once again, silent and still, waiting for its next visitor.
Subscribe for more horror.